The air in Alam Shah's mansion was heavy with tension, each passing day tightening the noose around Zufishan's spirit. The storm within her heart raged fiercer now, equal parts fear, hope, and determination. Alam Shah's looming presence grew darker, his suspicions simmering beneath a facade of affection. Yet, Zufishan's love for Azar, though distant, remained a beacon in her world of shadows. Alam Shah sat in his study, his fist pounding against the wooden desk, as his men reported their failure to retrieve the letter's recipient. "You're telling me," he growled, his voice icy, "that Zufishan has managed to outsmart all of you?" The men before him shuffled uneasily. Sahib one ventured, "The letter reached its destination. We don't know who it went to, but if Azar is alive..." "Enough," Alam Shah thundered, rising to his full height. "You will find him, or you will answer to me." He dismissed the men, his mind a whirlwind of anger and desperation. Zufishan's growing defiance was like a dagger in his chest. How could he make her see that she belonged to him? In the village, Azar clutched Zufishan's letter, his heart pounding as he read her words. "Azar, if you are alive and reading this, know that I never stopped believing in you." Her handwriting, her words, felt like a lifeline. Azar's eyes glistened with tears as he whispered, "Zufi, you've been fighting for me all along." The letter reignited his resolve. With the help of his friend at the police station, Azar now had enough evidence to launch an investigation. But he knew he couldn't rely solely on authorities. Alam Shah was powerful and cunning. He needed to act decisively. "I have to see her," Azar said to himself. "I have to let her know I'm coming." Zufishan's intuition told her Alam Shah was onto her. His demeanor had shifted, his attempts at kindness now laced with an undercurrent of menace. She felt his eyes on her constantly, as though he were waiting for her to slip up. One evening, he joined her for dinner, his smile brittle. "You've been quiet," he said, pouring her a glass of water. "Is something troubling you, Zufishan?" "No more than usual," she replied, her tone icy. He leaned forward, his voice dropping. "You know I only want the best for you. But trust is important in a marriage. Wouldn't you agree?" Her hands tightened around her fork, but she forced herself to remain calm. "Trust is earned, Alam Shah. It can't be forced." Their eyes locked, a silent battle waging between them. Alam Shah smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "I hope you remember that." As Zufishan plotted her next move, she stumbled upon something unexpected. While wandering through the mansion's sprawling library, she found a drawer slightly ajar. Inside was a set of documents, land deals, bank statements, and correspondences that hinted at Alam Shah's illicit activities. Among them was a letter addressed to someone in a neighboring city, discussing the removal of Azar. Zufishan's heart raced as she photographed the papers with a small camera she had hidden. This was it, the proof she needed. But how could she get it out without Alam Shah finding out? Azar, meanwhile, had reached the outskirts of the city and made contact with Zufishan's family. Her brother, furious and devastated by the revelations, vowed to help. "We'll bring her back, Azar," he said. "But you must stay safe. Alam Shah will stop at nothing to keep her." Late one night, Azar risked everything to meet Zufishan. Disguised as a delivery man, he managed to gain access to the mansion grounds. A trusted servant guided him to the garden, where Zufishan often sought solace. When Zufishan saw him, her breath caught. For a moment she thought she was dreaming. "Azar," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. He stepped forward, his hands trembling as he cupped her face. "Zufi, it's me, I'm here." They embraced, their love and pain pouring out in silence. "How did you?" she began, but he stopped her with a gentle finger on her lips. No time, Zufi. I know what Alam Shah has done. We're going to stop him. She showed him the photographs of the documents she had taken. Azar's jaw tightened as he scanned them. This is enough, he said. We'll take this to the authorities. Their moment was short-lived. A rustling in the bushes alerted them, and they realized they weren't alone. Alam Shah's men were patrolling the grounds. Go, Zufishan urged, pushing Azar toward the shadows. If they find you, they'll kill you. I won't leave you, he protested, but she shook her head. You have to. For us. Reluctantly, Azar slipped away, his heart breaking as he left her behind. Zufishan watched until he disappeared, then steeled herself for what was to come. The next day, Alam Shah sensed something amiss. Zufishan's defiance seemed sharper, her resolve stronger. When he confronted her, she met his gaze without fear. What are you hiding? He demanded, slamming his hand on the table. Nothing, she replied, her voice steady. His eyes narrowed. You think you're clever, Zufishan. But I will find out what you're up to. And when I do, you'll regret it. Zufishan's heart raced, but she refused to let him see her fear.